All right, welcome to another deep dive. This time we're getting into something pretty interesting, exhibition stand design.
Mm-hmm.
We've got this ultimate guide to exhibition stand design and build,
Okay.
and specifically it's focusing on Madrid, Spain.
Interesting.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Why should I care about exhibition stands if I'm not, heading to a trade show anytime soon? But trust me,
Yeah.
this deep dive is about way more than just booths and banners.
It really is.
We're going to uncover some seriously fascinating strategies for communication and making a lasting impression,
I love that.
no matter what the context.
That's a great point.
So get ready, because you might just become the most interesting person at the water cooler after you hear this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the guide jumps right in and really emphasizes the importance of first impressions, Like in the trade show world, you've got literally seconds to grab someone's attention
Oh, yeah.
amidst a sea of booths.
Oh, right.
It's like your booth is your visual handshake. It needs to instantly tell your story.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah, it's got to be impactful.
It does.
And what do you think about that? I mean, that's got to be a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it is a lot of pressure, but it's true, though.
Right.
It's just like anything else. When you meet somebody for the first time, you want to make a good first impression.
Yeah.
And that split-second judgment happens so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're at a trade show, what makes you stop at one booth over another?
Right. What makes you go, ooh, I want to go in there?
Exactly. It's those visual cues.
Okay.
That's what grabs your attention.
So you're saying that strong visual identity really is that important?
Oh, absolutely. It's like,
yeah.
It's not just about looking pretty.
Right. It's got to be strategic.
It's about being intentional with your design.
Yeah.
Having clear branding, strong visuals,
Got it.
and a message that people can understand immediately.
Like instantly.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, imagine you're walking through this crowded trade show floor.
Mm-hmm.
You're bombarded with all this stimuli. And then you see this booth.
Okay.
It's got this bold color scheme.
Yeah.
Maybe a really eye-catching graphic.
Mm-hmm.
And a clear tagline that tells you exactly what they do.
It draws you in.
You can't help but stop and take a closer look.
Okay, so you're basically saying that it's not just about having a booth. It's about having a booth that actually stops people in their tracks.
Exactly. You need to stand out.
I see.
And, I think it's kind of like scrolling through social media.
Oh, yeah, totally.
It's that same principle.
Everything's moving so fast.
You're scrolling.
And something makes you pause.
And then, bam, something catches your eye and you stop.
Right.
And that's not by accident.
So you're saying that that's on purpose.
It's intentional.
Okay.
It's all about understanding how our brains respond to visual cues.
So it's almost like psychology then.
It is psychology.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if you're designing a booth, creating a website,
A presentation.
whatever.
These same principles apply.
Exactly. It's about grabbing attention,
Mm-hmm.
communicating your message
Right.
clearly,
Right.
and making a lasting impression.
I love that.
So it's not just about aesthetics, it's about strategy.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
And this guide actually gets really practical about it.
Does it really?
It does. It gives tips for both small and large booths.
Oh, that's helpful.
Because not everyone has a ton of space to work with,
Right. Right.
So it's great that it considers different scenarios.
And so what's interesting to me is that it actually suggests completely different approaches
Yeah.
depending on the size of your space.
Exactly. So for smaller booths,
Yeah.
it's all about embracing what they call vertical thinking.
Vertical thinking. Okay.
Using height to your advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think about hanging displays.
Oh, okay.
And draw the eye upward.
Yeah.
That makes the space feel bigger.
Right.
And it also creates a sense of grandeur.
I like that.
Yeah, it's like when you look up at something tall, it naturally draws you in.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what else they suggest? Mirrors.
Mirrors.
Mirrors. Yeah. To amplify the space.
Oh, interesting.
To make it feel even larger.
Okay, so it's playing with perception then.
Exactly. It's all about perception.
I love that.
Now, for larger booths, it's a whole different story.
Okay. What do they suggest for larger booths?
Well, instead of trying to cram everything into one space,
Yeah.
they say, think about creating distinct zones.
Ooh.
Zones, different areas for different purposes.
So like almost a booth within a booth.
Yeah, exactly. Like you might have a zone for meetings, a zone for product demos, maybe even a reception area.
Okay.
And the guide suggests using different flooring materials
Oh, interesting.
or even levels to visually separate these zones.
Okay, so almost like you're guiding people through the experience then.
Exactly. It's a curated experience.
You know, it's funny because I'm thinking about my own little home office setup.
Yeah.
And I'm realizing that I could probably use some of these principles to make it more functional.
I think so too.
To maximize my space.
Right.
And it's not just about trade shows, it's about any space, really.
Any space, yeah, where you want to optimize flow.
Right.
Create a certain effect.
And so this guide is really good then, because it takes these principles and applies them to...
For real-world situations.
Yeah.
And it makes them very actionable.
Okay.
So it's not just theory, it's like, here's how you can actually do this.
This is exciting.
It is exciting. And you know what's coming up next.
What?
The part I think you're really going to love.
Oh, tell me.
It's a section called Tested Strategies to Grab Attention and Increase Foot Traffic.
Ooh, that sounds very strategic.
It does, doesn't it? It sounds like a spy manual or something.
Yeah, like a secret agent's guide to trade shows.
Exactly. And some of these strategies are really clever.
Okay, give me an example.
Well, one that stands out is the use of live demonstrations.
Oh, live demos.
Because they create a buzz. Mm-hmm. They draw a crowd.
Right.
And they allow people to experience your product or service firsthand.
Oh, yeah, it's almost like a performance then.
It is a performance.
Okay.
And it's engaging.
Yeah.
It's interactive.
It's like, you see those street performers.
Oh, yeah.
Who can just captivate an audience.
Absolutely. You just can't help but stop and watch.
Right.
And it's the same principle here.
So it's about engaging the senses.
It's about creating an experience that people remember.
Got it.
Another tactic they highlight is contests and giveaways.
Oh, the classic contest and giveaway.
But there's a key here.
Okay, tell me.
It's got to be relevant.
Relevant, okay.
So instead of just giving away random swag.
Right, like a pen with your logo on it.
Exactly. You want to offer something that actually ties back to your brand.
Okay.
Something that resonates with your target audience.
So it's about attracting the right kind of attention.
Precisely.
Yeah.
People who are genuinely interested in what you have to offer.
Okay, I like that.
And then there's the power of bold visuals.
Oh, yeah.
The guide specifically mentions vibrant, contrasting typography as a major trend for 2024.
Okay.
So think about those posters.
Yeah.
With the huge, bold fonts.
Mm-hmm.
You can't miss them.
Right.
They just scream for your attention.
And that's effective, you think, in a trade show environment?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to stand out from all the visual clutter.
Okay, so it's about making a statement.
It's about making a statement.
Okay.
And, what's even more interesting is that the guide also suggests incorporating multiple senses.
Okay.
Into the booth design.
So we're talking more than just what you see?
Exactly. Okay. We're talking about soundscapes, textures, even scents.
Oh, scents.
Yeah. To make the booth truly memorable.
It's funny because I'm thinking about, when you walk into a store.
Oh, yeah.
And they have a particular smell. And you associate that smell with that brand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
It's powerful, isn't it?
It's incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
And, it taps into this whole field called experiential marketing.
Okay.
Which is all about creating an experience.
Right.
That goes beyond just the visual.
It's about the whole package.
It is. It's about engaging all the senses.
And what's cool? The guide actually mentions the use of augmented reality and virtual reality.
Oh, wow.
To create these immersive experiences.
That's amazing.
Imagine being able to step into a virtual world and experience a product firsthand.
That's the future.
Before even seeing it in person.
It is. Technology is really transforming how we experience things.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
But even without all the fancy tech, you can still create these powerful multisensory experiences.
Oh, absolutely. Think about a restaurant.
Okay.
With a carefully curated playlist.
Right.
Or a store with a signature scent.
Yeah.
These little details.
They make it a difference.
They add another layer to the experience and they make it more memorable.
It's all about creating an atmosphere then.
It is. It's about creating a feeling.
And that's what you want people to remember.
Exactly. You want them to walk away from your booth and not just remember what they saw, but how they felt.
Oh, that's good.
Because, emotions are what drive decisions.
That's powerful.
It is powerful.
So we've talked about the importance of first impressions, using space strategically.
Yes.
Creating these multisensory experiences.
Absolutely.
Now, what about the actual, nuts and bolts of designing and building the booth itself?
Well, that's where choosing the right partner comes in.
Okay.
The guide really stresses the importance of finding a booth design company. That understands your needs and can bring your vision to life.
Because it's not just about building a booth, it's about building a representation of your brand.
Really. Exactly. It's an extension of your brand.
Okay.
And so the guide lays out some key criteria for choosing the right partner.
Oh, does it? What are they?
Well, first and foremost, experience.
Experience. Okay.
You want a company that has a proven track record.
Makes sense.
You want to see a portfolio of successful projects.
Okay, so like checking references.
Exactly. Just like you wouldn't hire a surgeon who's never performed surgery before.
Yeah, yeah.
You wouldn't want to trust your brand
to a newbie.
To a company with no experience.
Okay, so experience is key.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Then there's customization.
Customization, okay.
Every brand is unique.
Mm-hmm.
Your booth shouldn't be a cookie-cutter solution.
So it's got to be tailored to your needs.
Precisely. You want a design partner who understands your specific requirements.
Okay.
Your brand identity, your target audience.
So it's like getting a custom-made suit versus buying one off the rack.
Exactly. The fit is so much better.
When it's made just for you.
Exactly. And then there's project management.
Project management, okay.
This is crucial.
Why is that?
Because planning and executing a trade show booth, it can be really complex.
Oh, I bet.
There's so many moving parts.
Yeah.
From design to logistics to on-site installation.
That sounds stressful.
It can be.
Sure.
So you want a partner who can handle all of that seamlessly.
So they take care of the details and I don't have to worry about it.
Exactly. They keep everything on track.
Okay.
So you can focus on what you do best.
Like connecting with people.
Exactly. And then finally, there's sustainability.
Sustainability.
Which is becoming increasingly important.
Yeah, it's a big deal now.
In every industry.
Right.
And consumers are really paying attention to it.
So it's not just a trend, it's something people actually care about.
Exactly. And in terms of booth design, sustainability means using eco-friendly materials.
Okay.
Designing booths that can be reused.
How interesting.
Thinking about the entire life cycle of the booth.
So it's about being responsible.
It's about being responsible.
Okay.
And minimizing your environmental impact.
You know, it's great that the guide actually includes this as a key factor.
It is. It shows that they're thinking holistically.
Yeah.
And they're prioritizing sustainability.
Awesome.
So, to recap.
Okay.
When choosing a booth design partner, you want to consider their experience.
Right.
Their ability to customize solutions.
Yep.
Their project management skills. And their commitment to sustainability.
Got it.
Those are the 4 pillars.
The 4 pillars.
Of a successful partnership.
I love that.
Yeah. It's really amazing how much depth there is.
I know, right? We've only just scratched the surface.
We've just scratched the surface.
And I'm already seeing so many connections to other areas of life.
It's fascinating, isn't it?
It is.
How these principles can be applied to so many different things.
It's not just about booths and banners.
Exactly.
It's about communicating effectively.
Yes.
Making a lasting impression.
Absolutely. It's about being intentional with your message, your space, and the experience you create.
You know what? I think this has been a really insightful conversation so far.
I agree.
And I can't wait to continue our deep dive.
I do.
After a quick break.
Sounds good.
We'll be back to explore the human element of exhibition stand design.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, me too.
That's where things get really interesting.
I think so too.
Because at the end of the day, it's all about people.
It is.
It's about connecting with people,
right?
Building relationships.
Exactly.
And creating those memorable experiences.
So stick with us.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back. It's incredible how much goes into making a truly effective exhibition stand.
I know, right? It's like a whole blend of things, isn't it?
It really is, yeah.
Before the break, we were talking about picking the right partner to, make your vision a reality. And the guide, it emphasized 4 main things to look at: experience, customization, project management, and that sustainability factor.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm actually curious. Can we dive a little deeper into those? Like, why are those so important specifically?
Sure, let's start with experience, right? Think about it like this.
Okay.
You need surgery. You wouldn't want a surgeon fresh out of med school, right? Yeah. You want someone with, a proven track record.
Right. You want the best.
And it's the same here.
Okay.
You want a design team with, a portfolio of successful projects that they've done.
Yeah, you want to see what they've done before.
Exactly, yeah.
Like proof that they can actually, deliver.
Right. That experience shows that they understand the, ins and outs of exhibition stands.
Because it is its own little world, right?
Yeah. It has its own challenges, its own kind of
nuances.
Yeah, nuances, exactly.
It makes total sense. It's like checking reviews before you go to a restaurant.
Exactly. You want to see that other people have had a good experience.
You know what you're getting into.
Yeah, exactly. And past performance is usually a pretty good sign of how things will go in the future.
Right, right.
Okay, now let's talk about customization.
All right, customization.
Why is that so important for exhibition stands?
Yeah, why can't you just, use a standard booth?
Well, think about it. Every brand has its own story to tell.
That's true.
Right. You don't want a booth that's just generic.
You want it to stand out.
Yeah, it has to reflect your brand, your personality, and it has to communicate your message in the right way.
Okay, it's got to be custom made.
Yeah, like a tailored suit.
Oh, I like that.
Right. Compared to something you just buy off the rack.
It fits perfectly.
Exactly. A custom designed booth, it just fits your brand perfectly, and it makes a much bigger impact.
It shows that you've put thought into it.
Right. It shows that you care.
Okay, so customization is about, really making it your own.
Exactly. It's about creating a booth that really embodies your brand and speaks to your audience.
All right, that makes sense.
Now let's talk about project management.
Okay, project management.
This might not sound as exciting as the design part, but it's super important for things to run smoothly.
Okay, I can see that.
Think about all the planning and everything that goes into an exhibition booth.
Yeah, it's probably a lot more than people realize.
Oh, it is.
You got the design, the materials, the building, the getting it there.
The logistics, the setup. Oh my gosh, there are so many moving parts.
Sounds like a logistical nightmare.
It can be a real nightmare if you don't have the right people helping you.
Okay, so that's where a good project manager comes in.
Exactly. That's why it's so important to choose a company that has really strong project management skills.
So they basically handle all the chaos for you.
They do. They handle all the details. They keep everything on track, and they make sure everything runs smoothly.
So you don't have to stress about it.
Exactly. It's like having a wedding planner. They take care of all the details so you can just relax and enjoy the big day.
Right, right.
So yeah, a good project manager is essential. They're worth their weight in gold. All right, now finally, let's talk about sustainability.
Sustainability, yeah, that's a big one these days.
It really is. It's becoming more and more important in every industry.
It's not just a buzzword anymore.
No, it's not.
It's something that consumers are really paying attention to, and they expect companies to be responsible.
Exactly. It's about making choices that are good for the planet.
Right. Reducing our impact.
Right.
And when it comes to exhibition booths, what does sustainability actually look like?
Well, it's about more than just using recycled materials, although that's important too.
Okay.
It's also about designing booths that can be reused or repurposed.
Oh, so you can use them again for other events.
Exactly. So you're not just creating waste.
Right.
You're thinking about the entire life cycle of the booth.
So it's like thinking long term.
It is. It's about making smart decisions for the planet and for your business.
Because it can save you money too, right?
Absolutely. Sustainability can actually be a cost-saving measure.
Interesting. So it's a win-win.
It is. It's good for the environment, it's good for your brand image, and it can be good for your bottom line.
That's awesome.
So it's really great to see that the guide emphasizes sustainability as a key factor.
Yeah, it shows that they're really thinking ahead.
Yeah, they're taking a holistic approach.
So to recap, when you're choosing a booth design partner, you want to consider their experience, their ability to customize, their project management skills, and their commitment to sustainability.
Exactly. Those are the 4 key pillars.
4 pillars of a successful partnership.
Exactly.
As we're talking about all this, it's making you realize that a lot of this applies to other areas of life, too.
Oh, absolutely. These principles go way beyond trade shows.
Like the importance of experience, customization, and project management.
Yeah.
Those are important in so many different contexts.
Right. Like if you're hiring a contractor or planning an event or even choosing a doctor.
Right, right.
You want to consider those same factors.
It's about finding the right people and processes to help you achieve your goals.
That's it.
Okay, so we've talked about all the key elements of choosing a design partner. But even with the most amazing booth and a flawless execution, there's one crucial element that can make or break the entire experience.
You're absolutely right. We can have the most eye-catching visuals, the latest technology, the most eco-friendly materials.
Yeah.
But if we don't have the right people representing our brand, it's all for nothing.
It's like having a fancy sports car with a terrible driver.
Exactly. The human element is essential.
It's all about the people.
It is. The people staffing your booth, they are the face of your brand.
Right. They're the ones interacting with potential customers, answering questions, making those first impressions.
Exactly. They're like brand ambassadors.
Yeah, I like that.
They need to be knowledgeable, approachable, enthusiastic.
They need to represent your brand in a positive way.
Exactly. And they need to be able to communicate your brand's message clearly and passionately.
It's a big responsibility.
It is a big responsibility. And it goes beyond just knowing about the products.
Okay, what else is there?
They also need to be good listeners, able to understand the needs of potential customers and adjust their approach based on that.
So it's about building those personal connections.
Exactly. You want visitors to leave your booth feeling like they had a good experience, a real conversation, not just a sales pitch.
You want them to remember the people as much as the product.
Exactly. You want them to remember the interaction, the human connection.
That makes a big difference.
It does. It can turn a casual visitor into a loyal customer.
So finding the right people for this role is super important.
Absolutely. The guides suggest looking for people who are passionate about your brand, who are naturally outgoing and engaging, and who genuinely want to help people.
Okay, so you need to find people who are a good fit for your brand.
Exactly. And once you find them, you need to train them properly.
What kind of training are we talking about?
Well, they need to be really knowledgeable about your brand, your products, your services, and any trends in your industry.
They need to be experts.
Yeah, they need to be able to answer any question that comes their way.
Okay.
And they also need training on how to, engage with visitors, how to answer questions and concerns effectively, and how to handle any objections that might come up.
So they're kind of like a salesperson, a brand ambassador, and a customer service rep all rolled into one.
That's a great way to put it. They really are wearing multiple hats.
This is really eye-opening. I didn't realize how much went into staffing a booth effectively.
Yeah, it's a lot more than just standing there and smiling.
Exact.
It's about creating a positive and memorable experience for every visitor.
This whole deep dive has really made me realize how much more there is to exhibition stand design than I initially thought.
Me too. It's so much more than just building a pretty booth.
It's a whole strategy, a whole art form.
It really is. It's about creating a whole experience, something that engages the senses, tells a story, and connects with people on a deeper level.
And it's clear that every detail matters, from the layout of the booth to the lighting to the people you have working there.
Exactly. It's all part of creating a cohesive and impactful experience.
This conversation has been so insightful. I feel like I've learned so much.
Me too. It's always fascinating to dive into these topics and uncover all the layers of complexity.
And for our listeners, be sure to check out the show notes for links to the source material we've been talking about.
We've got some great resources there
to help you take your communication and presentation skills to the next level.
Absolutely, because a lot of these principles can be applied in different areas of life.
Right. It's not just about trade shows. It's about communication in general. So keep learning, keep exploring, and keep those creative sparks flying. We've talked about so much, the design, the tech, all that. Expert speaker. Yeah. It's making me think about how much setting up an exhibition stand is like, putting on a show expert speaker. Oh, I see that. It's like you've got the stage, which is your booth, yes. Right? Expert speaker.
Right.
Right. And then the set design expert speaker. Mm-hmm. All those visuals, using space in a smart way. Expert speaker. Exactly. And of course, you need a script expert speaker.
Yeah.
Your brand's message. What are you trying to say? Expert speaker. Absolutely. But there is one thing we haven't touched on much yet. Expert speaker. What's that? The performers. Expert speaker. Oh, the people, the ones bringing it all to life. Expert speaker. The booth staff. Yes. The guide. It really stresses how crucial it is to have a booth staff that's, trained well and engaging expert speaker. Makes sense. Those are the people who are actually interacting with everyone right on the front lines. Expert speaker. The face of the company. Making those first impressions, expert speaker. Exactly. They're like brand ambassadors. I like that. Brand ambassadors, expert speaker. They have to be knowledgeable, approachable, excited to be there. They got to be able to explain everything clearly. With passion, expert speaker, absolutely. But it's more than just like knowing the product list. Oh, what else is there? Expert speak. It's active listening too. Okay. Expert speaker. Understanding what each person who comes up needs, and changing how you talk to them based on that. You're building that rapport, expert speaker. It's all about connection.
Exactly. Yeah.
Making it genuine expert speaker. Exactly. So people walk away and they feel like they had a good chat. Not just, here's our sales pitch expert speaker. You want them to remember the person they talk to just as much as what you're selling. That's a good point. It's the human touch expert speaker. It makes all the difference. It can turn someone who was just browsing into a real customer. Wow. So finding the right people for this job is super important. Expert speaker. Oh, absolutely. The guide recommends looking for people who really care about the brand. Mm-hmm. Expert speaker. Who are naturally good with people. Outgoing, Expert speaker. And who actually want to help others. Got it. So personality fit is important. Expert speaker. It really is. But then you got to train them well, too. What kind of training? Expert speaker. They need to know the brand inside and out. Okay, expert speaker. Products, services, any industry trends, they got to be expert speaker. They should be able to handle any question that comes their way. Wow, expert speaker. And you want to train them on how to start conversations. Expert speaker, how to explain things clearly, address concerns people might have. So they're like a salesperson, but also brand expert and a bit of customer service too. Expert speaker. That's a great way to put it. They're wearing lots of hats. This is interesting. I never realized how much went into like staffing a booth the right way. Expert speaker. Yeah, it's more than just smiling and handing out brochures. For sure, expert speaker. It's about making each visitor feel like they had a great, memorable experience. You know, this whole deep dive has really shown me how much more there is to exhibition stand design than I thought expert speaker. Me too. It's not just building something that looks nice. It's a whole strategy expert speaker. It's an art and a science. Exactly. It's about creating a whole experience that, draws people in expert speaker. It tells a story, makes them feel something expert speaker, and makes them remember you. And it's so clear now that every detail matters expert speaker, every single one, from how you use the space to the people you have working there, expert speaker. It's all part of a bigger picture. It's been an amazing conversation. I feel like I've learned so much expert speaker.
I do.
It's always so fun to go deep on these topics. And for anyone listening, if you want to learn more, check out the show notes, expert speaker. Yeah, we've got links to the guide and some other great resources to help you level up your communication skills, expert speaker, because so much of this applies to all kinds of things, not just trade shows. That's right. It's about making an impact no matter what you're doing, expert speaker. Exactly. So keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those creative ideas flowing. That's it for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us.